Well, hello everybody. This is me, Brook, again in Puerto Vallarta with another one of your weekly video fishing reports. And I believe it's the only report you can get like this anyway, so appreciate you watching. This week we've had some interesting changes. You probably remember last week we had a hurricane pass us by and wound up sitting in front of Puerto Vallarta for a few days, didn't do anything, didn't move, finally broke up, and that was that. But it pushed a lot of fish into the area and created a lot of crazy currents and pushed a lot of bait that was already incredible into the area. And in fact, even the bait is eating bait, so sometimes it can be a little bit of a problem. And that was a few days ago here, but things have changed a little bit. So let's start at the top. Corbetena, 35 miles out. We call it the Rock. The action's been pretty good. They're seeing football yellowfin tuna out there, around 40 pounds. That can change any day. They can run anywhere from that range into 100, maybe 200 pounds. It just depends on your luck out there. The schools these days are a lot smaller, unlike what they used to be. With the big numbers, you go out there on a 10-hour trip, you get a 250-pound tuna at this time of year, it'd be almost guaranteed. But they were all fished out by the professional guys. So now you go out there and you run into smaller schools, and that's what you have to do. You have to catch the smaller schools. Unless, of course, you go to the Tres Marias. And if you do that the right way, at this time of year, every time your line hits the water, you can catch a world record fish. And we have plenty of boats that will set you up out there. It's not cheap, but as far as the price per person goes on these boats, we're competitive on our yachts and things to some of these other companies that go out there and do the same thing and put 10 people on a boat. It's a luxury thing. I would never get on a boat with 10 other people personally, but especially when I can get my boats with all your friends for less money. But anyway, that's a long story. Right now, Corbetena has sailfish. We're seeing some blue marlin moving into the area. We haven't really seen any black marlin, but my Captain Pepino on Magnifico tells me that nobody's going out to the El Banco area, which is 50 miles out there. It's an underwater mountain range, and there's a lot of bait out there. And if you're going to run any marlin out there, that's pretty much where you run into big black marlin out there. You know, him and I, we have a bet where they're going to come in with the first black marlin. And I had a captain, Cesar Perez. He's on another one of the boats we know. He hit a black marlin the other day, so it looks like we're starting to see some signs of marlin out there, which is good. The size has been running about 450 pounds on up. It could be up around 600 pounds, but again, there's not too many of them out there, so I can only tell you what we've seen. Dorado are everywhere. The Dorado out there in Corbetena, they'll be a little bit bigger, but you know, does the size of the Dorado, if you're looking for Dorado, you don't need to go to Corbetena for it. You know, 5-10 pound fish, 5 pounds or so in a fish is going to make a big difference. So there you have it. We got blue water, 84 degrees. We never saw the warmer water temperatures here like a black marlin normally like, but they don't normally show up until this time of the year anyway, so everything seems to be working just fine. Water temperatures, again, like I said, are 84 degrees, a little bit low. We have a lot of bait out there, blue runners, green runners, sardines, goggle eyes, flying fish, and that's just the beginning of it. So, and there's a lot of tiny little baits out there running as well, so even the bait's eating bait. So, in times like this, when you're having trouble getting fish to turn their head, remember dead bait works. They think it's a moving fish, and it works. So, give it a try. If nothing else works, dead bait's not too hard to find. You can always get dead bait. Inside the bay, well, around the point out there by Punta Mina, let's go out there. They changed Punta Mina to the new name is now Punta Nayarit for some silly reason. And out there, what you'll find, Dorado. You know, we got Dorado out there. Find a log line, floating debris. Find a mature trash line, which are coming to an end because the rainy season is coming to an end now. And it's Dorado City. A lot of small bait out there feeding on that trash line. Everything's chasing it down. Exactly what we want and what we hope for, so it's all a beautiful thing. Let me see what else. Sailfish are out there. You got Dorado out there. Head out a little farther. You might run into a marlin, but normally that would be an 8-hour trip. Go to Sayulita. You can still see roosterfish, and of course, if you're looking for roosterfish, you know they have them out there at Cabo Corrientes. We're coming to the end of the season where it's raining out there, but there's still a lot of them out there. They've got a lot of rocky shoreline with sandy beaches, and that is roosterfish heaven. So we got some guys going out there doing some stuff now. We can fix up with that. Figure a 10-hour trip, even though you won't make it outside of the bay. It's a long way, and you'll be all right on that one. Coming back inside the bay, well, everything is inside the bay. Right now, I'm telling everybody a 6-hour trip in the bay is your best bang for your dollar. Now you go out there for 8 hours and get the same fish out there. Maybe have a little harder time finding sailfish, but you know, that's hard for me to say now, because last week I had 3 different boats going out there, and every one of them seemed to hit a sailfish. A couple of them lost them, and that's not normal, but you know, who's to say what's normal nowadays? So they're catching sailfish out there if you're lucky. Dorado down by Los Arcos to the the area around Yalapa is just alive with Dorado. The whole bay is pretty much alive with Dorado. Once you get out there in the middle of the bay, head south, find clean water, you'll find Dorado. Hell, right now, if you had, well, they're hitting just about everything. I usually tell people as a joke, if you take your car keys and throw a hook on the end of it, you'll probably catch a fish while they're in. You know, that's probably pretty true right now as well. They're hitting poppers, hitting rapalas, hitting live bait. But, you know, anything can happen out there. So have a lot of color with it, which means have a lot of different lures, a lot of different colors, and have live bait. And, you know, it never hurts to have a little extra calamari around the place out there. And, chub a little bit, use that for bait. That can handle. That can work really well. Another thing. Oh, sorry about that. Another thing is there's just tons of action in the bay. Yeah, you can't go wrong. So 4 hours in the bay gets you out there in the middle of the bay. It's not all that good. They head down towards the south end of the bay. That's where all the Dorados seem to be. North, you're going to see more sailfish up by La Cruz, and you got to go out by Punta Mita to see Dorado. So everything seems to be happening down the south end of the bay. With all the strong currents and all the bait in the bay, really, you'll see some pictures of this, and it's going to be mostly Dorado. That's all for the last few days. So if you're down here fishing, that's good. Probably your best bang for your buck. We really have no COVID concerns down here. Getting to the tourist site, we really have no COVID concerns down here right now. You don't have to have a mask in the airplane. You don't have to have a mask in Jalisco State. Now, Nayarit, which is where a lot of the hotels are up there in Nuevo Vallarta, you still have to have masks up there, and it just doesn't make any sense. But, you know, don't ask me what makes sense around here. It's, I never really know. So there's no real COVID concerns. You still have to get the test. Some of the stations have been closed up, but all the pharmacies around here can provide that for you, so that's no big deal. And right now, the bite's happening around 9 o'clock. You know, make sure you're where you want to be by about 8, 8:30. It's perfect because the sun's coming up a little later now. Sunrise over the mountains where we get it over here is just around 7:20 right now. And, you know, you just want to make sure that you're out there at the best time. You don't want to put a bunch of hours in and know that the bite's not going to be any good. On top of that, what else? Oh, we got our tournaments coming up. Now it's tournament season. We have our our Puerto Vallarta. They used to call it the Pez Vela tournament, but now it's the Marlin tournament coming up November the 9th. And 9th is the sign up, and the 10th, 11th, and 12th are the days of the tournament. We have a lot of boats available. If you want to go out there and have some fun, Super Pongas are, you know, not too expensive. The larger boats will naturally be more money, but it's a happening. It's a lot of fun. But we also have another tournament I'll give you information on. That's our Dorado tournament inside the bay. And that happens about a week or two after that. That's always a lot of fun, very inexpensive. What happens is they take all the fish they catch, and they have a big fish fry. And it's kind of fun. But a lot of people, you get a lot of drunk national locals over there because they really love this tournament. And of course, you know, they expect a fight or two, so you can sit back and watch the action and have a couple beers. Have some fun. I really recommend that a lot. I'll be in that tournament this year, so maybe we'll do a video this time. So anyway, for now, fishing is great. The weather is great. No hurricanes, no COVID issues. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always call me. I'm more than happy to answer anything you have. And, you know, not too complicated. The weather's getting better. Life is good. The world is wonderful. And we'll just leave it at that. But right now, I'm pretty happy I'm living in Mexico. So until next week, don't forget to kiss your fish. And this is Stan, Ambassador BAITER'S, Sportfishing and Tackle. You can look us up online. Saying hasta luego. We'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.
4, 5. Okay?
Estamos listos.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice. Good job. Give me 5, my friend. Good job. Good job, buddy.
Hey, lo mejor que hay.
Thank you.
Oh, dude.
Step back. Oh, look how beautiful. Look how beautiful. He got tired.